All right. Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock, so I will go ahead and get started. Welcome to the fire briefing for July 26th. I'm Rachel. I'm here on the Spokane side today, and on the Seattle side, we have Logan. And just for our daily disclosure statement, this meeting is being recorded. By joining and participating in the session, consent is being given to the recording. Please keep cameras off per NOAA Privacy Act statement. So here is a look at the current satellite imagery this morning. We have this sort of troughing pattern over the region, kind of dropping down from British Columbia here. It's just not doing too much, just bringing some cloud cover across western Washington and a little bit down here into the central Idaho panhandle. And moving on to the fire weather matrix, I will go ahead and pass it to Logan, let him speak to the western Washington side of things.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so today, very similar to yesterday, cloudy across the area for most of the day. We should be able to clear out though this afternoon for at least a few hours of some sunshine. And then starting Sunday and especially into Monday, we'll start to get we'll still have those marine pushes in the morning, but we'll clear out and be warmer and drier each day, Sunday into Monday. Then Tuesday, the flow pattern aloft switches to southerly, so we'll really start to warm up a little bit more, and we'll become drier and maybe a little bit unstable starting as early as Tuesday, though, especially going into the middle and late next week. We're still keeping our eye on some chances for some thunderstorms over the Cascades. Luckily, with the moisture influx, it looks like those should be wet, though even with the fuels being dry, any lightning at this point is of concern. So there's still a little bit of uncertainty with the pattern, exactly how it's going to play out, but we do want to advertise those chances for thunderstorms over the Cascades there.
All right, thanks, Logan. And for eastern Washington, today we did put an elevated fire weather risk for continued dry and breezy conditions. We're not expecting it to be quite as breezy as it has been the past couple days. So it's more of a truly elevated day. We're not expecting to see OBS flirting with red flag conditions. Tomorrow, the winds subside, but dry conditions continue, and we'll continue to see dry conditions Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures warming up as we go into next week. Monday and Tuesday especially are looking pretty unstable, with mixing heights upward of 10,000 feet. And then Wednesday through Friday, we are, like Seattle, looking at some chances for some thunderstorms, especially over the mountain areas, the Cascades and the Kettle Mountains. There is still quite a bit of uncertainty with that, but that is something we'll be keeping an eye on, and similar things for North Idaho, warming up with some chances for thunderstorms over the second half of next week. And I included this wind and RH slide in here. We have highlighted most of eastern Washington and North Idaho as being elevated risk today for the breezy winds, and lowish RHs. Winds are going to pick up out of the south to southwest with speeds of 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusts up to 20 over the basin, the Okanagan Valley, and through the Idaho Panhandle. And then we're expecting an evening push of west-northwest winds through the Cascade Gaps and over the Waterville Plateau, with similar speeds there. Additional comments: temperatures today will be ranging throughout the 80s, and RHs will be dropping to between 20 and 25%. And we will move on to some weather tabs here. So max temperatures for today, looking at 80s, lower 80s for North Idaho, and then upper 80s to maybe a few 90s toward the southern part of the region here. Then on the west side, we've got 60s along the coast and ranging throughout the 70s further inland. And min-RH for today, eastern Washington, low 20s, and then North Idaho, mid to upper 20s, and for western Washington, right around 50% with higher numbers on the coast there. And winds, I know this one's always a little hard to see, but we've got sustained winds southwesterly, 10 to 15 miles an hour over the basin here into the Idaho Panhandle and through the Cascade Gaps. And then peak wind gusts. So for this afternoon, we'll see some gusts 20 to 25 miles an hour over the basin. And then notice the peak wind gusts through the Cascade Gaps and on the Waterville Plateau are more west to northwest. That'll happen later this evening. And right around the same speeds there, 20 to 25. And then moving on to trends, I will go ahead and hand it back to Logan for Ohana Prakash.
All right, thanks, Rachel. So yeah, another cool and moist day today. You can see there our minimum RHs are well above 40% there. And then you can see there Sunday into the beginning of next week, we'll start that warming trend where we'll start to get back into the 70s and 80s, and those min RHs will start to slowly decrease each day. And then going into next week, you can see where that flow pattern changes. We get fairly warm, they're in the mid to upper 80s. Our min RHs are below 30%. Our recoveries are starting to struggle a little bit. And then if you scroll down a little bit for the probability of precipitation there, you can see, especially starting Wednesday afternoon and into the end of the week, there is where we're monitoring for those chances for thunderstorms over the Cascades.
All right, thank you. And for the east side here, we will go to Douglas Station, just east of the Cascades. Similar trends for the east side, just a little more extreme for the temperatures, warming up through about Thursday here. We see both high temperatures and low temperatures will be warming up, so might struggle to get real cool for people who need air conditioning or need to open their windows for air conditioning. RHs will gradually drop as we get toward the middle of next week. And then winds kind of spiking up this afternoon and evening. And after that, winds will pretty much subside through the rest of the week. And we are also seeing some increasing chances for precipitation with the potential for thunderstorms over the second half of the week and some increases in cloud cover. And then moving over to North Idaho, similar trends here, not quite as warm, warming into the mid 90s here by Wednesday and Thursday, lows in the 50s, and RH is dropping to right around 20%. There's a little baby spike in the winds this afternoon, and after that, things kind of mellow out, but overall, not super windy in North Idaho. And then they do have a slightly higher chance of thunderstorms up there as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we will continue to keep an eye out for those. And then going to the 8 to 14 days CPC outlook, we've got above normal temperatures and above normal precipitation for the region between August 2nd and August 8th. And I believe that is all for today. As always, you can find this recording at weather.gov/otx/fire dashboard, along with some other information. And I will go ahead and stop the recording here.